to Heal. So, if you saw our last episode, we had a beautiful guest on and we demonstrated and offered some beautiful blessings and healing. He shared a lot about his journey. So, if you didn't watch last week, go back and watch it after today. It was really, really beautiful. So, welcome to The Power to Heal. So, this show today, during this episode, we are going to connect to Pepique, who we connected to last week, and we're going to check in with him and see how it's going. What I'm sharing in this show and what we're creating and sharing and collaborating on together is the power to heal. And last week we demonstrated a beautiful Tao Healing, Tao Hands Blessing. So Tao Healing. Tao Healing is something that I've been studying for about 11 years, and I just love it and feel really, really passionate about sharing it because of all the amazing things that have happened for my physical health, my emotional health. And I shared more about my story in last week, my healing story as well. So you can watch that. But it's really, really quite amazing. I love that it is encompassing for everyone. You can have your own belief system in whatever you want to connect to. In this Tao healing, Tao is referring to the source. It's referring to that connection. And I know that each of us has and carries this connection within us and around us in our own special way. So I love this form of healing because it really is about bringing in that source, love, light, forgiveness, compassion, that source frequency and vibration and positive information, and allowing this to uplift our vibrational field, to nourish our hearts and souls so that our bodies can manifest from that nourishment, from that beautiful source message. Often we carry, I would call it negative information, but it's not negative bad. It's just a lower vibration, and it's part of being human and part of learning and going through our experience, and it's beautiful. And I believe when this stuff comes forward for me, whether it's my physical health or relationship challenges or however it shows up, what it is an opportunity to heal. And it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's coming up to serve me so that I can learn and go deeper and really bring more of that balance to my health and happiness. And so that that allows me to step into my role and my true nature. And it's also just to clear and release this and everyone and everything that's connected to it. It really is an opportunity to heal and learn. And for me, I believe in past lifetimes, and you don't have to, but I really feel like, there's so much that's available to us that can go beyond even time and space that we might not even be aware of, that can pop up and present itself. And sometimes it doesn't feel good. And sometimes we can ignore it. And it just ends up getting louder or shifting, right? It's like when you try to move away from a problem and it just ends up popping up wherever you land, because it's like, no, I'm still here to bless you. I'm still here to help you to transform and to heal this. And so I know for some of you that might be an extreme way to look at it, but honestly, in my journey of getting to that place, this really does resonate with me. And so it's not always all sunshine and rainbows, but there always is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to heal, and to uplift, and just to feel better. Yeah. So when I offer Tao Hands Blessings, like I did last week, it's a transmission that I received from my teacher, who I've been following, learning from for the last over a decade. And I really just loved this modality because it's open, it can be applied, and also work with any kind of other thing. Reiki, massage, even I've used it in, I have received treatment from Western medicine. And when I use this, I just notice such a difference. It's really amazing. So I love that it's something that's just brought so much joy and healing to my life. And that's why I share it. Okay. So we are going to bring on our beautiful, amazing guest, and we're going to have him share what his experience has been like since, we recorded that actually 2 weeks ago, I think. So it aired last Sunday, and this show is going to be every Sunday. That's what I'm going to connect with 5 people and do this. So next Sunday we have a new person, and we might also continue with Pepique, who I'm going to bring on in a moment. But I still have room. So anyone who wants to apply and try this out and to be my guest and receive these healing blessings, you can email me at soullightpetservices@gmail.com and apply to be. I'm still looking for 3 more people. Okay, great. All right, so let's bring on Pepique. Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
I really resonated with a lot of the things that you said in your intro there, but I too am a strong believer of the past lives and experiences, and I've had personal experiences and also noted other people's experiences, and then just I guess just there was a lot of it. But yeah, I think we're very aligned in our belief system and a lot of that stuff. So
good. I'm glad that resonated with you. I could see your head in the backstage, just kind of like nodding. I was like, yeah, I should have had you on while I was sharing all that. Yeah, I'm glad that resonated with you. And you really exude all of that also. It's really amazing to be in your presence, and I just mean that in the way that it is.
thank you.
So how'd it go? You received
Good,
some blessings. Yeah. Let's tell everybody what you received blessings for, kind of recap what the last few weeks have been since we met.
Right, yeah. That was one and the same. So just to recap, I have an old injury, which I have trouble recalling what exactly it even came from originally, but it's a left side groin injury that it comes and goes, but when it's on, it's very disruptive and very painful. Usually after sitting for a while, then when I get up, I'll notice, I was noticing a very sharp, almost kind of tearing pain. And what I noticed last time, I talked about this a little bit immediately after the session we did last time, but I noticed a sense of blood flow going after the Tao Hands Healing, going down into my legs, but as it carried on a little bit later into that evening, even I noticed that I didn't have much pain symptoms at all. It's like I was aware that it was there. It wasn't like totally gone, but it felt like there was a strengthening there. And I don't, maybe it's a ligament or something that's causing the pain, or maybe nerves, or I'm not sure what exactly is causing the pain, but whatever it is seems to be feeling nourished and supported. And then throughout this week, I actually traveled. I went to Florida, so I sat on an airplane. I walked through the airport. I went swimming and got beat up in the ocean. Like I did all these things, and I never really had a moment where I got that sharp pain. But I will say, after my 3.5-hour flight back from Florida, I did have the achy sensation there, and it was a little sore, but it was different. So still present, but significantly better already. And that was just after the first, introductory session that we did. So I would say that there's a big improvement from where I was with the sharp pains when I'm getting up to now, just being aware. And I think I just have a lot of the same old habits where it's like, oh, okay, that's going to hurt. I'm going to get up slowly in this way. But then what I'm noticing is my brain saying, oh, that actually didn't hurt that time, or that was actually good. So um,
That's amazing. So
or-
the message is changing, which
yeah,
is what we're working on, is that soul or the message, the root of it. That's so amazing. Yay.
yeah,
And I know I reached out to just like touch base with you after the first week. And I know you shared that you had been doing the forgiveness practice that we
right,
shared last week, which was the last show, which was like a way to self-clear and all those things. I'm so glad you had that shift, and it's good to like realize what is left to transform and what is still there, but also to acknowledge that, okay, well, what has happened? So that the message that your consciousness and your awareness of it has shifted, right? Because now
right,
when it happens, the discomfort happens, your brain is like changed the message, right? The consciousness around it. And then also sense that message has changed, that vibrational source information came, and the vibration has shifted, right? um, it has allowed the energy to flow, which is what made the blood flow and all those things. And I
yeah,
was just seeing this being so important for you, and I know you and I share the same belief about past lifetimes and stuff. And I'm just seeing right now and being guided, like, so how many lifetimes maybe have you been working on this, or wanting to heal this, or has this been presenting itself to be healed? We don't know how long we've been in this cycle. And so I just feel this kind of celebration with your guides and with everyone. You've taken the first step, and you possess the power to heal. And sometimes we just need that help because there's that interference, or even just ignoring it and not even
yeah,
recognizing
right,
that
yeah,
you're in pain, that actually your whole life has is in some way been shifted around this pain in a way. And for that to have opened up a little bit for you is truly amazing. How was the forgiveness practice for you? Do you want to share a little bit about that?
it's good. It's very. I think that the just the place and the vibration that I connect to in my heart space when I'm even just when I guess even at the moment that I agree that what I'm going to do next is the forgiveness practice, it opens up that space, and then at, just that feels very very nourishing and connecting and unifying. Just kind of unifies my field. I feel like with uh, that forgiveness energy that is available at any time you choose to tap into it. Um, but yeah, and just connecting with that, and then just the intention and the presence. And when I'm doing it, I'm really putting a lot of attention and that focus of energy onto the injured area, but also allowing that to radiate through the rest of my body and out into my field. And um, I think that it's been incorporated into like a morning meditation where I'm already still, but there's just been little moments, well, anytime I've remembered, I guess that was something that I had agreed to continue to work on. Then sitting on the train, going to the terminals or whatever, just sitting and thinking and connecting in, for even if it's just for a short little period of
Yeah.
time, connecting with that forgiveness energy is, in that space of no time, no space, that just that intention of connecting with it has been powerful. And I've had times that were a little bit longer where I could really sit with intention, and then I've had times that were just quickly, reaching in, and I can't say that I noticed, um, a difference between those two activities. So any focus on it and any care given to it seems to be rewarding, immediately, with just a sense of well-being and relaxation. And then also just I keep noticing more and more how little I'm feeling that pain as I go. So
That's such a good teaching. I love that because really the length of time doesn't actually have to be the most significant, because I think sometimes even for me, I can give the excuse like, oh, I don't have time to do this, or I don't. And, we're not like sitting in a cave in the mountain with a candle. We're just not doing that
Right. Yeah.
right now. So we have to make it like apply to our life. And I love that you shared that because I think the most significant thing I've noticed by doing this specific practice is, and really any connecting, right, is like if it comes from your heart and if you allow, also what I was hearing is you're receiving. So even when you're saying you're being really intentional, but also you're just letting it flow, I mean, receiving that love, that light, that forgiveness, not in a traditional sense, really. I think we think of forgiveness sometimes in a very like, why should I forgive this person? They hurt me. And it's more of just really allowing yourself to nourish and release from whatever that energy is connected to that pain, right? Whatever's entangled with that experience. And what I've noticed also, I don't know if you noticed this for yourself, it sounds like you might have, is I also just feel like a lot more peaceful when I do it. So
Yeah.
sometimes even when I'm feeling, like, overwhelmed or flustered, or sometimes I tend to oscillate and, like, take a moment to, like, go on, like, the little rainbow ball. Just connecting again to that forgiveness, it actually brings such peace and grounding to me, that it really can allow me to, like,
Yeah.
really be
Same.
mhm. And then whatever needs to come forward comes forward, like, quite quickly, actually.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing your experience and all of that. It's so powerful to hear and I'm learning so much. Um, what would you say about the growing pain today or in this moment or what you've noticed?
It's been good today, which is funny because the last time that we met, it was like that day. And again, maybe it's just the intention, right? We both woke up with the intention this morning to say, "Hey, no more of this." Okay, so I guess that's the way it's been feeling today. I had a feeling that you were going to ask me about that, so I've been taking some mental notes this morning.
Cool.
Going, my office is upstairs, and so going up and down the stairs, and how does that feel, and getting up and out of the chair. And today, it hasn't been. It hasn't been bothering me like really at all. I am, aware of the spot still, and there's more of like an awareness and sensation, but that's almost like a habitual thing. And and like I said before, there were days where it wasn't bothering me, and there were days where it really was. But today just happens to also be a day that I haven't been able to duplicate that pain, even when try to, quantify where
Great.
it is, and
Hmm.
so it's been really good. Yesterday it was a little bit sore, so I know that it's still a thing that exists, but again, it was very mild by comparison to what it has been.
Beautiful. Yay. Yeah, it's so interesting when we have pain. I remember you saying you're like not even really sure how long you've had this pain. And it's interesting how we can develop relationships um, with our pain, even when it's not painful. Like you're still aware that that's a thing um, that is still there, right?
Right.
And so, I just think that's powerful. I think, as we heal and transform. So with this, like the healing is happening on the soul level first, and then, it transforms in the energy level, and then also then right the physical starts to transform. And from your sharing, you've really kind of experienced all of those things, which is amazing. And and there's layers to it as well. And sometimes we have a relationship with this pain, even though it's something that you've kind of adjusted to in your life, and also it's something, right, we expect. Like when you go to do something and you expect it to bother you and it
Yeah.
doesn't, you're just like, "Wait a minute." So there's even a shift in your relationship, and sometimes that takes time too. Sometimes I know for myself, there's been times in my life where I've been attached to my illness or the pain or something because it's just been with me for so long. So it's just really amazing, kind of to just have that awareness also.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we make space for it and accommodations almost for, it's almost like toting along a little friend. Oh, yeah, I need to make space for my friend. Yeah, he doesn't like it when you move like that. We need to move like this around him,
Yeah.
or so. But then, yeah, when that little friend is gone, it's kind of like, oh, hey, where'd that go? I'm used to dragging all this weight with me and having to bring all this extra stuff and act a certain way. You mean I don't have to do that anymore? Like takes a little while for the brain to connect the new
Yeah, it's like
dots.
when the message of pain is gone, it's still, like, in your physical body and maybe mentally, you're still kind of expecting it, which is which is so interesting.
Right.
Alright, so today we're going to, so you're not feeling any pain, you can or discomfort, could you give it a number? Would you wanna measure it from 1 to 10, or is it not measurable today?
Today, I mean, it's very low. I would say, like maybe a one at points of moving, but I mean, just sitting now, it's not doing anything. And then, um, yeah, so I mean, it's very low today. But yesterday, maybe three-ish, four, just kind of little naggy, but not, nothing sharp or bothersome, really, even.
Great. Okay, perfect. Well, we're gonna see if we can shift that number and then also just create a greater shift and healing for you today. So today I'm going to, and I briefly talked to Pepique about this just so he would kind of know what to expect, but today I'm going to introduce another aspect of Tao healing. So we did Tao hands the first time, and there really was a great shift for you during that. What you shared, I'm so happy for you. I'm so grateful. It makes me so excited because, well, I'm not really doing anything. So I'm just facilitating something. So I'm not giving kudos to myself, but it's just amazing because I've had my own like physical healing experience with Tao hands. I've experienced it with my animals and with all so many animals and people I've worked with all over the world. And every time it's just so exciting for someone on their own, honestly and genuinely, to have this shift. It's just really amazing to experience this power. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are in pain. I think a lot of us, most of us, are in some kind of uh, pain, whether it be physical, emotional, relationship, financial. There's something that's coming up. And if that's not you, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so happy for you, really genuinely. I think that's amazing. And the other thing I've learned about Tao healing is we can also use it as preventative. So it's really amazing, even if you don't have aches and pains and issues, by connecting to this and using this healing, it can actually help prevent, because what it's doing is it's releasing any negative information and frequency and vibration that could potentially manifest, right? So today we're going to actually use, I'm going to share with everybody a tool that you could all use at home actually. But today we're going to connect to another tool in Tao healing, and it's called Tao calligraphy. And I'm just going to show you this calligraphy that's in this book. Well, I'll show you the book first. This is The Greatest Love Book. And Tao calligraphy, you can see it's one stroke. So it's actually a oneness writing. It's a healing calligraphy. There's a beautiful, beautiful story and everything about how this Ibitsu style of calligraphy was passed down from the last lineage holder before she transitioned. She was like 103, I think, to Dr. and Master Shah, and she taught her. It was only taught in the Imperial Palace, and she was a part of that. So she studied this and learned this even as a child. And then she taught Dr. and Master Shah, and she there's a beautiful video online where she like passes on the lineage. It's just so heart touching. But she had taken an oath not to actually share this with anyone. But when he came to her, she talked to God, because that's who she talks to. And God said yes, because he's going to use it for healing. So some of you might be familiar with Dr. and Master Sha. He's just a really beautiful being and teacher, humanitarian servant, and really believes in the power that everybody has to heal, and really, really is committed to that 100%. And he's really gone through a journey that's quite remarkable. He's a master because he's actually a grand master of many different things. And he's been recognized now for his calligraphy by the Chinese government, actually, which is really, really amazing. So I could talk about him forever, but really what we want to experience is the power of the Tao calligraphy. But what he brought to this is the reason I mentioned his background and him is because he brought all that he has been taught in his journey and everything that he's received and the channel of healing that he is and what he showed up to do in service to everyone and everything is he really can bring through this source frequency and vibration in such a powerful way. And it all gets transmitted from the source into the calligraphy when he writes it. And so it is a healing tool. It carries that source frequency and vibration. This one, sorry, I'm a little awkward with this. This one's the greatest love. Isn't it so beautiful?
Yeah.
So you can see the pathway. And so there's lots of different ways you can interact with the calligraphy, and you can use it for healing really anything. You can just place it on your body and connect to it. You can do a technique where you like breathe in the love and light from it. You can use your fingers and actually follow the path of the calligraphy. And there are practices in this book for everything. So today we're going to do this practice for, I lost the place, healing any condition. So I'm going to walk everybody through this practice. There are some terms that it uses that, you kind of explains in the book. So I'm just going to kind of shift it a little bit so that we're all on the same page. And then I actually have a calligraphy card that was given to me that has a very special blessing in it so that to use specifically for healing others in the way that we're going to demonstrate for Pepique today. So I'm really excited to do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the ride?
Absolutely.
Okay, and everyone at home, you can follow along. So whatever you're experiencing in your life, you might be experiencing back pain or whatever it is, we're going to do it for any condition. So I'll leave a space where you can go ahead and apply. So follow along if you feel comfortable. And then the name of this calligraphy, the greatest love calligraphy, in Mandarin, it's Da-I. So if I say the word Da-I, it just means greatest love. And it's that unconditional love, but it's the source unconditional love. So it's that love, in this book that shares that has the power to melt all the blockages. It's that love that we all hold within us, within every cell and every space and every tissue of our being, and much, much more. So we're going to nourish this message that we all already carry and let go of the other stuff. Okay. So for our body power, you can just place one hand on your heart if you want to, or one hand on your lower abdomen. And if you have physical pain and you want to put one hand where you have physical pain and one hand on your lower abdomen, that works. If you have emotional stuff going on, the heart center is perfect for that. So yeah, whatever you feel guided to do, Pepique is perfect. All right. And so now we're going to do what's called the soul power. It's the say hello. So you can close your eyes and just follow along. You can follow along silently, Pepique. So everyone else can too. So we say, dear the soul, heart, mind, and body. Soul, heart, mind, and body of. So you can name your condition, name the area which you are requesting the blessing. I love you. you have some blockages. You can clear these blockages by yourself. Do a great job. Dear Divine and Tao Source. And if you're not comfortable with those words, you can use other words that represent that. My name is I deeply apologize for all the mistakes that my ancestors and I have made in all lifetimes. I ask for forgiveness for my ancestors and me. I know in my heart and soul to only ask for forgiveness is not enough. I have to serve. I will serve. To serve is to make others happier and healthier. And this can look in any way. If serve doesn't feel comfortable to you, just, share love, be kind, be generous, be thoughtful. All those are ways of serving. I'm so grateful for all the blessings. Thank you so much. And dear all the souls who my ancestors and I have hurt or harmed or taken advantage of in any way in this lifetime, in all past lifetimes, please forgive my ancestors and me for our mistakes against you. I offer my unconditional forgiveness to all souls who have hurt or harmed my ancestors and me in all lifetimes. Please accept my forgiveness. So take a moment to breathe that in for a second. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Take a breath. Exhale. So then we're going to say, Dear the soul, heart, mind, and body of the Tao calligraphy, I, greatest love. I love you. Please bless you can name the area of request or relationship or whatever it is. Please nourish, enrich, and bless me as appropriate. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to just hold this one for everybody to connect to, and I'm going to offer a Pepique blessing with my special card here that I have. Okay, can everybody see that? There we go. Okay, and I'm going to do what's called tracing. I'm going to follow this path and bring the blessing to Pepique. So, dear this Tao calligraphy, Tao I, please bless Pepique and the condition of his groin in the highest and most appropriate way. Thank you. And I'm going to chant for the sound power, Tao I. Greatest love. Blessing starts. Thy greatest love. 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 Thy greatest love, Thy greatest love, Thy greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, heals and rejuvenates Pepique. And Thy greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, heals and rejuvenates Pepique. Da ya yo ya yo, he ya yo ya yo, he ya yo ya, yo ya yo ya yo. Blessing continues silently. Stay connected to that message of the greatest love. Visualizing this nourishing your area of request. Beautiful golden light. Breathe in this golden light into the area. And exhale, releasing the blockages, any negative information connected to the area. Breathing in, visualizing the light. Coming from the calligraphy, it's really like a portal, to the source. That's how I see it. Breathing it in and exhaling. Die. Breathing it in. Die. One more time. Die. Beautiful. I like to say how, which just means perfect. Get well. Thank you. Sending love to the beautiful calligraphy, the messenger of this greatest love, the source love, this beautiful transformative art. And for anyone who wants to experience this and try this out, I recommend getting this book because it's really inexpensive and it has beautiful practices and the calligraphy in it. And it's just the right size also. Like you can put it on your body. This one is actually my dog's book because I'll put it out in a spot and when he needs, he'll go to it and lay on it. It's really amazing. Yeah, the animals are such a good measure. They know. They know where the high vibes are at. All right. Thank you, everyone. So let's check in with you, Pepique. How was that for you? How are you?
That was amazing. So it was very just peaceful, I guess. Just very relaxing, and I guess even before you'd mentioned that you were tracing it, I've seen some of the calligraphy stuff before, and that was what I was intuitively just kind of tracing it in my mind. I have if you look at something and you close your eyes, I can still see it there in my mind's eye. So I just kind of trace the image.
Yeah,
But
that's a beautiful way to do it. Yeah, that's awesome.
it seems effective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while that was happening, and then just breathing in the gold, and I noticed that my body tends to yawn when I'm releasing a lot of energy, and I had several substantial yawns throughout that thing, which felt very, releasing and nourishing to my energy field. Not having the pain present going into that is hard to quantify that, but the rest of my body just feels relaxed. It kind of, I allowed that gold to go in to where it needed to be for my healing, but then also to kind of go through the rest of my space and radiate out of my field and kind of expand. So I had some tightness up in my shoulders and things like that from sitting up very straight in front of this camera, I guess right now. But then that went away, and just kind of, I noticed that I was holding myself very tense in the lower part of my body to maintain in the upright position. That kind of all relaxed, and I just settled into this next level of peace and relaxation during that. So I can really feel that nourishing, almost warm energy coming through.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
And that piece, I mean, that it's quantifiable in a different way, but it's so valuable. Like, sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm like, wow, even just one moment of like real deep peace, what an amazing thing to experience. And because I think, that's within us all the time. And it's so easy to be outside of that experience. So that's beautiful that you could tune into it. The message I got a couple of messages for you. So is your jaw more relaxed? I kept hearing like it shifted your jaw. Yeah. Like you were holding, there's something connected to it where it's like almost in anticipation, but it could be, became kind of a state. So I heard that your jaw had relaxed. And so I don't know if that feels like that, but
Yeah, certainly. Now that you call awareness to it, it's right when you said that, I noticed that, the lower jaw was just kind of hanging. It wasn't clenched or anything. So
yeah.
it's
It's
not
like,
always
wow,
the case
okay.
with me, I guess.
It's amazing what we don't notice until it starts to transform. When I was doing this, using Tao calligraphy was pivotal in my healing around my thyroid. I mean, I had already experienced such great transformation, and then I received a huge Tao calligraphy blessing, and it really shifted my my whole life, really. That sounds extra, but it's really not. It really did. And I think even one moment of peace, whatever we can receive can really facilitate that for us. It's amazing what we don't have awareness around, but what we can be called into through connecting to the source and connecting to our own power to heal and our own nature, source nature that is within. We are all that, each one of us
Absolutely.
is that. The other message I got, it was so beautiful. It brings tears to my heart. I say that because I'm trying not to physically like cry. Well, I'm not going to try not to, but I can feel just so heart touched by this. Is your ancestors. And the message I got is this is just incredibly healing for them. Because this is connected. And I think we kind of tapped into that a little bit last time, how there was a connection to this with your ancestors. And I just see, like, if something was super tight, I just see it all loosening. These cords that we have, just kind of loosening and some of them releasing, and it's almost like it's being like untied with like a ribbon, it's really, really beautiful. And the message I'm getting is they're just very grateful. And you're
Yeah.
doing the work. You really have been doing that in this life. And so
Yeah, I definitely have a strong awareness that a lot of the healing work that I'm doing in my lifetime is, for my lineage as a whole too. So
and
it's
it's
great,
beautiful. It's
great
beautiful.
validation.
And then just now while you were talking, you said lineage, I saw a giant eagle
Yes,
flying.
good.
Yeah,
That's a prominent animal totem in my.
it is.
Actually, especially recently, my
Mm.
father has just passed away recently, and um, that seems to be one of the totems to support me through my grieving period. And it's one of the actually there's a few items which I've taken from his home that are now possessions that I'll keep, and one of which was a big picture of a painting of an eagle, which actually my uncle painted originally, but it reminds me of my dad. It's
Yeah,
great.
there you go. That's just even your lineage in this life. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, that's so special. Oh, amazing. All right. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with everybody?
Just to express gratitude, I think is the
Mm,
message that comes today, and just to anybody who's taking an interest in a broadcast or show or whatever you want to call a production like this, that says something about your character inherently, that you're interested in self-healing or healing others or whatever. But there's such a wonderful community of people that are growing into their power and their understanding of how to channel in healing and to be of service. And I know you and I personally share that vibration, but just all anybody who's watching this and seeing this, I feel like, you know, just thank you for taking the time to, if you're not doing this on a first-hand nature, at least having an interest in showing up and following along and being a part of this and helping collectively to grow the awareness and the vibration of healing energy in our communities. And just thank you for being here. Yeah.
yeah, beautifully, beautifully said. Thank you, everyone. And even though we recorded this ahead of time, which we just kind of have to do because of scheduling, but as this gets broadcasted and everyone's following along in that practice or just being present or tuning in for 1 minute or 30 minutes or however long, it is a collective contribution and alignment that's happening. And if this is speaking to you at all, if you just allow it, just to receive whatever this moment has for you, and know that you can reach out to Pepique if anyone feels called to do that. He has beautiful service. Again, if you didn't see the last episode or whatever we're calling this, I was just gonna say episode. Watch it because he is doing amazing things. His journey is beautiful, and he shared it so openly and beautifully. Check out his non-for-profit work that he does with for people and with people. His sound healing, his so many amazing contributions that he has for anyone who's in knows someone or wants addiction recovery, right? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's the specialization. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just amazing. So go check out his website, contribute in whatever way you feel, whether it's sending love, doing a little donation, signing up for a service, whatever it is you would like to do. And then also know that you can reach out to me. My website is soullightpetservices.org. I mostly work with pets, but pets always guide me to the right people, so there's no separation really. That just happens to be my that was just my potential and my specialty to bring me into this was the animal communication and connecting. But I work with a lot of people as well, and I'm happy to support anyone. Um, and who knows what we'll do together in the future. Pepique and I live in the same city, so it's kind of exciting.
Right.
And then we'll do a follow-up with you also at some point, Pepique, so we can hear more about the progress. And we're going to get you a book called it's the calligraphy. It has the calligraphy, and it's for healing the back specifically. And um, really everything has a back to, like, the back is really for everything, but I was guided to share that with you. So we're going to get Pepique that book, and he's going to work with the calligraphy a little bit and share his experience with that the next time that we visit with him. Thank you so much,
Perfect.
Pepique, for your
Thank
time
you.
and your love and your energy. And thank you everyone for watching. We will, oops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. We will join, you can join us again next week, next Sunday. We are going to have a beautiful, beautiful man from Nigeria who's joining us, who is experiencing some back pain. And it's really, really amazing. And we're going to get to experience Tao Hands again and the healing power of that. So make sure that you join us next week. And until then, we'll see you. Love you, love you, love you. And remember that you have the power to